Hi, today we're going to learn about the major key. Alright, we're going to look at the key of C major to start because that's the most common major key. So we start off by looking at the scale. So the C major scale starts on C. We'll use middle C here. And then goes up the major scale pattern. Goes up 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, and 1 to form the scale. So starting on C, we go up 2 notes and get our next note, which will be D. 2 notes above D is E. 1 note above E is F. 2 notes above F is G. 2 notes above G is A. 2 notes above A is B. And 1 note above B is C. So here we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C, the C major scale. So that's the first step in building the key, is to build the scale, and all of the chords, which will be in the following steps, are built out of these notes. So you won't have any notes appear in the chords that aren't already in the key. Alright, so the way chords are built, you take the first note of the scale, the third note of the scale, and the fifth note of the scale, and you stack them. By stacking them, that means we play them at the same time. In music notation, when notes are written vertically like this, you know they happen at the same time. And so C, E, and G will be played at the same time to form the first chord in the key of C major. The following chords go by the same pattern, so D, F, and A will go together to form the second chord in the key. E, G, and B, F, A, and C, G, B, and D, which would be here as the scale is infinite. G, B, D, A, C, E, B, D, F, and lastly we're back to C, E, and G again. So these are the chords of the key of C major, but we didn't name them yet, so that's the next step. In order to name this chord, we have to look at the relationship of the notes. So it starts on C, so it will be some type of C chord. In order to know what type of C chord, either major, minor, diminished, or augmented, we need to measure between the notes. So from C to E, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, a distance of 4. And from E to G is up 1, 2, 3 more. So we went up 4 and then up 3. If we check our formulas over here, that's the formula for a major chord. And so this is a C major chord. And musicians always use uppercase M's to show major chords and lowercase m's to denote minor chords. Next chord, D, F, A. Again, we'll check our piano. We'll measure how far you have to go up from D to get to F. Up 1, 2, 3 gets us to F. And then from F to A, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's up 3, then 4. If we look at our formulas, we see 3 and then 4 is a minor chord. We're going to use our lowercase m to show that this is a D minor chord. You follow the same pattern for the rest of the chords, measuring E to G to B, and you'll see that that's up 3 and then 4. F to A to C is up 4 and then 3, so it's major. The G chord G, B, D will also be major. A, C, E will be minor. B, D, F is actually 3, then 3. And so that's not major, it's not minor. 3 and 3 is what we call a diminished chord. And so you can write D-I-M And lastly, we're back at C, E, G, which will be the same measurement as C, E, G in the lower octave. And so you know it'll be major. So these are the names of our chords. The last step we have in building the key is assigning Roman numerals to the chords. The point of Roman numerals is so that if we're in a different key, we can see the same patterns happening again. Whereas the letters will end up being different if we're working in a new key. The pattern of major and minor and diminished chords will actually be the same. And so we use Roman numerals to show that. So we assign our 1 chord here, uppercase I for 1 in Roman numerals. Our 2 chord will get 2 lowercase i's. And we'll write those lowercase because it's a minor chord, and we denote minor chords with lowercase Roman numerals. Minor 3. Major 4. Major 5. Minor 6. And you'll notice with the diminished chord we also add what looks like a degrees sign. And that's to show that it's not a minor chord, it's actually diminished. Right? So it's 7 with a circle to show that it's a diminished chord. And then instead of putting an 8 for this last chord, we're actually going to call it 1 again, because it functions the same in the key as the first chord we start on. So even though it's in a new octave, it still has the same function. And this is the key of C major, the most common key in music, but all keys are built the same through the same process.